Congresswoman Robin Kelly, welcome to the Village of Hazelcrest. Today has been an interesting day. You just finished a press conference talking about the staggering issues that are happening in D.C. and how some of the tariffs and the layoffs in D.C. from the Trump administration is affecting all of us in the South suburbs. Can you give us a little synopsis about what are you seeing and why are you here today?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me here today, and thanks for allowing us to host our press conference about the Trump administration really stealing from the American people or their Republican ripoff, I would say. We're here because we're just trying to get the stories out. We're trying to inform the American people what's going on. And for me, particularly the 2nd Congressional District, what's going on and how we're impacted. We heard different stories from the education point of view, from the healthcare point of view, Medicaid, municipality, what will happen with HIV and AIDS, which still impacts too many people, and medicines that will be taken away. If you're disabled in school or special ed, what could be taken away. We heard from higher ed, how that will be impacted, and low income or working families may not be able to send their kids to college because they can't afford it. They can't get, Pell Grants. Education is an investment in our future.
And I guess the normal citizen, first thing they say is, how does he get that kind of power? I don't think we ever had a president who has done that. So when people come to me and ask me, well, why could the president do that? Well, what is the answer to that process?
Frankly, he's just doing it, and he's breaking the law. And that's why, our best bet is to go through the courts. And there's many court cases, maybe about 30 now, maybe even more than that. Now, the court cases that have been heard, we've been winning most of the court cases, putting a pause on him firing people or putting a pause on money's going out for health care, but they're just throwing everything against the wall just to see what will stick. And the reason they did all of those executive orders is really to create chaos and disorganization. That's why you don't hear us speaking about every single thing that he's done, because he wants our concentration to be divided. But we're really looking at, you ran on, you're going to lower the costs for Americans, and what you're doing is not lowering costs. I mean, people are losing their jobs, they could lose their home, lose their health care. The tariffs will raise prices for American families, not lessen prices. And when people don't have jobs, that'll hurt the economy. They can't buy a home, they can't buy a car, they'll barely be able to buy groceries. So, and then the big cuts in, they want to cut $880 billion out of Medicaid. That will affect so many people. They want to cut Social Security,
So when they say cut, they talk about the present benefits they're getting now.
Right, they want to
cut those benefits or to decrease those benefits without Congress being in a part of it.
Right, well, we're fighting back and forth with them. We're negotiating right now in appropriations, how much money will be spent. The issue is that we're in the minority in the House and in the Senate and in the White House, and some would say the Supreme Court. So we're negotiating, and if we don't come to some conclusion or agreement, March 14th, they will be responsible for a shutdown. Now, they're fighting among themselves also, like the House Republicans and the Senate Republicans are fighting among themselves, but also there's a faction in the House, they're fighting with the other Republicans. So they don't have the votes, and they only have 2 more votes than we have at this point. So that gives us some leverage, and that's why you hear us saying we only need 3, we only need 3, we only need 3 Republicans. Frankly, I hate to say it like this, but to have a backbone, because they know privately what's being done is not right.
Well, it seems that you guys are in the fight, and as you have said to many of the mayors out here before, the fight is not with the Democrats, the fight is with the Republicans to actually be Americans and not a D and not a R. Mm-hmm. And that's what the struggle is at. So we do appreciate you coming out today and giving us this interview and a synopsis of what you did with the press conference today. And I want you to continue to keep the fight, which I know you will,
Yes, I will.
and keeping us informed. So thank you so very much for being out here today.
Thank
And,
you.
go Robin.
Go, Bernard.